Well, schools can turn to their food allergy champions. Who is the food allergy champion? No one serves this role any better than a school nurse. So school nurses are trained to care for children of all sorts, and especially adapt to caring for children with food allergies. They have assessment skills. They are able to recognize the first-time allergic reaction. They're able to treat appropriately, treat swiftly. They educate the staff. They coordinate the staff. They work with pediatricians, allergists, families, teachers, parents, students. They really are integral and the glue in making food allergy management strategies that can be implemented throughout the school and can keep kids safe.
Well, Mike, you're right. School nurses really are the point of contact for parents at the school, and the school nurse is going to be that go-to person for the parents to contact when they're going to be bringing a child to school for the first time, but then also to keep those lines of communication open on a daily basis. That school nurse is going to be the person who can be what's called a case manager, or the person that can really hold the pieces and pull them all together to make sure we're taking great care of kids with food allergies at school. Not only does the school nurse have clinical expertise of their nursing background, but then also they have the experience of being a member of the educational team. So with those two things put together, that's the right person in the right place at the right time to help children with food allergies. I think another thing that's a great part about the school nurse and parent relationship is that everybody can be opening to listen to each other. This is just so vitally important. School nurses need to listen to parents, to hear about the children's history, the children's story, and the parent needs to be able to listen to the school nurse to understand what the school needs in order to keep their child safe. And as we're looking at this time of year, it's certainly a time that we are looking towards the next school year. And every new school year is a new experience and a new transition. And it's a good time to update accommodations and just to be looking at what new situations everyone will find themselves in and to take part in some great planning to make it a great school year. As we move to the next slide, we look at the fact that what we really need is a coordinated team approach to caring for students with food allergies. This team approach with the school nurse functioning as the leader in the care is what's really going to best serve the children. The school nurse also is going to be able to take the lead in communicating both with parents and teachers. All members of the school community need to be involved, from the school nurse to the principal, to teachers, to paraprofessionals, food service, coaches, and volunteers. Everyone has to take care of children with food allergies. As Hillary Clinton said years ago, it takes a village to raise a child, but I contend it takes a village and a whole school community to take care of children with food allergies.
And then to take that one step further, not only to actually pull it off, but to pull it off with the whole child in mind. Not only the safety of the kids with food allergies, but their happiness and their quality of life is also something. And this community that the school nurse can help unify and educate and coordinate can be a community of support. Getting the teachers to actually understand, what is it that we really need to do? Why are we doing it? This isn't a preference. This is for safety. This is why we have certain classroom rules. These rules are not because we've been forced to do it. These rules are because it is our imperative to care for our friends, care for our peers, care for our brothers and sisters, and that this is actually a responsibility of us as people. And this same type of unified approach and understanding is something that, again, the school nurse really can champion. The school nurse can teach the teachers about these concepts and get their buy-in. The school nurse can help teach the administration the importance of this, the importance of these policies, and why it does make sense for a school to implement them and reinforce them and make sure that all are following them. And it's also really important to communicate with parents of kids without food allergies so they have buy-in, and students as well. Keeping in mind also that the school also can be challenging, and that's part of why you really need these coordinated teams, is that the developmental capabilities of these kiddos range, and kids are kids. And especially with little ones, they are not necessarily going to be able to self-manage. They're going to need teachers. They're going to need specialists. They're going to need volunteers who are understanding these concepts as well. This changes with each school. And then this is also the challenge. And this is where also you have your food allergy champions, the school nurses, who know their communities. They know their resources. They know the age group that they're dealing with. And each school is going to be able to use and implement different strategies for their own specific circumstance. And then also the nice thing is that these school nurses also should be able to have resources at hand like state guidelines, pending national guidelines, and guidance documents that are out there and that they can translate to those who they work with to implement these strategies.
Well, Mike, this is one thing parents might find just a little bit frustrating at times, is that in some ways it's very hard to make sweeping statements about what will happen at school, because every state has their own state laws and regulations, and every school nurse deals with working under what's called a Nurse Practice Act, and every state has a different Nurse Practice Act. So as parents are talking with each other, keep in mind that what you might hear from a parent in Delaware may not translate to what might be the parent's experience in California or in Texas or in New York. Certainly, everybody's going to see things work a little bit differently, but again, that school nurse can be the person that can really help to kind of help people manage the system and learn what works the best in that school setting.